How did I capture this image? How was it lit? How photoshopped is it? Let me break down exactly how I executed this portrait, even though I was in water 5 feet deep and waves were crashing down on both myself and the subject. Photography is a perfect combination of skill and luck. I shoot a ton of images when I shoot, so I don't miss a single moment. Combine that with shooting often, and you're almost guaranteed to constantly have divine accidents. I did get lucky with this image, but that only got me 20% of the way. The other 80% is being able to see that divinity amongst a group of out of focus, poorly composed garbage images and turn that into a polished piece of high-res art. My name's Corey Vanderploot at Corey Photo on Twitter and Instagram. Let's dive right in. So my idea was to have my subject in the water looking as divine as ever while a wave was imminently about to crash on her. Now what I'm hoping for is really just a great portrait, and then maybe I can move the wave in after her. You can see on photos like this, it's just not an easy thing to do. Something like this is getting closer. I am starting to feel like this is a manageable thing to do and that we could even get there. Most of these images are sharp, granted some are soft. I'm on a very long lens. I'm shooting on a 135mm lens because I like that compression in the background. I like the intimacy while I'm still far away. And you can see even our model Erica is just having some issues with a wave, which is natural. It's hard to be divine while a wave's coming down. So as we keep going, you see I'm getting great shots. The lighting is fantastic. It's like 6:30 p.m. The sun has just gone down. We're in Oaxaca. And these photos look great. There are so many good ones in here, but it's just not getting my idea. You see here, it's a little closer. You know what? Right now, I'm just shooting as much as I can. Keep going, and then pow! Great image. Now we're starting to get some good images in here. That one is fantastic. And this was after about an hour and a half of trying to get it technically right, waiting for the light to get right, and the waves all changed once we started doing it. So here I am trying to get a little bit wider, trying a different idea so I can come back to it. But you can see it's just not that easy. Trying back to this one again, close-up lens. Like even this image is so beautiful, but it doesn't have the drama that I wanted. I really left this thinking I didn't succeed. But then as I come back up here and start scrubbing through the images, thinking I'm just gonna go with whichever one has the best light, and I just got super lucky and nailed this one. This has a great wave in front of her. She looks fantastic. She's sharp, and there's a cool wave behind her. So that's our image. Let's see how much better we can make it. First things first, put your crop on. I always make my images a little wider. I like this as a 4x5. If you want to see how I crop my images, just check the description for a link. So what I want to do is I want to make this even out. So first thing you want to do is duplicate your layer, and then what you're doing is you're going to take your marquee tool, get as close to the subject as you can, and just while holding shift, stretch that out so it makes it to the edge. That already looks great. Now what I wanted to accentuate was this wave. I like this wave to look more like it was made for her. More divine accident, if you know what I mean. So what I'm going to do is hold Shift Command X to open up my liquify tool, and I just want to bend this wave just a little bit. And then I want to make this wave here mimic the other side. I can also take it here and raise it up a little bit. And what you're doing is you're just softening this. This is all stylistic points here, which is, I think, pure photography. It's all style. It's already looking fantastic. So when I first started retouching this image, I got super excited. This wave looked great. My image was sharp. The colors are amazing. I just wanted to start retouching. So I jumped right in. Again, if you want to see how I did this skin cleaning up, check out the link in my description on the only skin retouching tutorial you'll ever need. But let's break it down step by step really quickly. What you see is I like to simplify everything. So you can see even these pins aren't straight. So what I did was first get rid of all these flyaways and nonsense around her hair. Again, simplifying an image. Simplifying. If you want to know how to simplify images, check the link in my video description. So how did I do this? This is actually a pretty simple trick. What you want to do is hold Shift Command N for a new layer, and you're going to use the S tool, your stamp tool. You can see the lines are horizontal, so I don't want to take something from up here and clone it here. You want something linear. So what you're doing is you're taking some of this and just painting it over. Again, you want to stay linear, so it looks a lot more natural. And the same thing with this wave right around here for this hair. You see the flyaways are gone, but we have a lot of cleanup to do. So all you do is you take this as a mask, invert it, so you see it's white, and I'm gonna invert it to black. So you want to delete it, you can push X to swap it around, and it's gone. So now you're using your brush tool with a full opacity, and you're just gonna paint in where the flyaways are. You see, if it does look a little weird, it's because you use that amazing opacity brush with the soft edges, and now you don't have those soft edges anymore. So what you need to do is just go with a bigger brush and paint it all the way out until it looks nice and natural. And then you can do the same thing in here. Simplifying, stripping down. I'm going to speed this up. Again, if you want to see the simplifying image, check the link in my description. Boom. See, it's a big difference. And all you have to do is paint that in, and it makes it night and day. Next thing I did was notice that these pins need to be straighter. Make sure you're on your background layer. Use your marquee tool, which is M, and just copy and paste that. Control C, Control V. And now that you have that layer, what you're going to do is hold Apple T to transform and spin that around so it's in the same line as the rest of them. And then all you do is hit your mask tool and brush it in the same way. And there you go. It's even a much straighter bobby pin. And then to make sure that looks good, you just flip it on and off. Next thing is skin. I'm not going to go too into skin right now. If you want to see exactly how I do my skin, check out the skin tutorial down below. As you can see, with just using the healing brush and the dodge and burn tool, this already made a tremendous difference. Next, tones. Again, how I break down my tones is in a more descriptive video just below, so check that out. Next, I realized that it was not very symmetrical. It would have been nice if this wave could have been duplicated. So that's exactly what I did. Duplicated that wave. So how did I do that? First, I unselected everything above, made a new layer, Shift Command Option and E, and using my marquee tool, all I did was duplicate this, Apple C, Apple V. We've done this before, but now I get rid of this background layer because we don't need it, and hold Apple T. And by clicking and dragging, by holding the Shift button, you just place it right in. Add a mask, and then paint it in. First thing you want to do is you want to get rid of all of the edges. You turn your crop back on so you know how far you have to go. Right here. And now you push X to flip it around, and then you're going to come in and you're going to paint it very accurately. So it just comes in and around. I'm going to speed this up so you can see. If you want to know more about this, head over to simplifying an image, and I break down how to do the masking tools a lot easier. So there you go. Dropped in a new wave. And now it's looking a lot closer. I still feel like it's a little bit muddy, so I bump it up just a little bit to give it some crispness. And the last thing's the grain. And there's our final image. Looks like a crazy thing, but again, skill and luck. Skill and luck. Alright guys, if you want to see more tutorials, make sure you hit the subscribe button. My name's Corey Vanderplu, at Corey Photo on Twitter and Instagram. Happy shooting.